Okay, thank you. Hello everyone, my name is Mahima Gupta. I am a fourth year student at the University of Petroleum and Energy Studies under the Department of Aerospace Engineering. Today, my topic is high power.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So today my topic is high power solar electric propulsion from launch to landing, impact on cargo and human mass mission architecture. This topic I have selected honestly out of curiosity. As an aerospace engineer, I am also very interested in future exploration, colonization, and signs of ancient life on the red planet Mars. NASA Percy Mars rover, which is a long-term effort of robotic exploration of the red planet, also encouraged me to choose this research topic. So let's move on to the content. This slide basically covers the outline of my whole presentation, as we can see the screen displayed. Starting from the introduction. My main topic is solar electric propulsion, which offers an efficient method to transfer cargo to Mars. NASA studies have baseline architecture that may present challenges to the technical and affordability aspect of a future Mars architecture, depending on the transportation system design. Reusable SEP tugs stationed at the lunar gateway offer flexible trajectories, which is the main Aerojet Rocketdyne, which analyzed many of the elements that make up technology portfolio for accomplish any Mars architecture. For example, the main topic of my presentation, solar electric propulsion SEP, as well as the power processing, chemical propulsion for landers, and nuclear thermal propulsion for Mars crew vehicles. Optimal SEP thugs would require 100 to 200 kilowatt of power to provide sufficient acceleration. This power level, along with the design specific impulse and specific mass for SEP system, play a significant role as it determines how effective the propulsion system may be for delivering cargo during each mission opportunity for the Mars architecture. The concepts presented here focus on the use of solar electric propulsion SEP for purposes of delivering cargo, which is the main aspect and could potentially be complementary to human mass architectures as well. Second, coming on to the methods and assumption for Mars SEP system, the figure on this slide is the example of Earth to Mars SEP system for cargo delivery or pre-positioning Mars mission elements. The key impact of the propulsion system requires both of the cargo transfer and crew transfer to Mars is necessary to credibly access the capability to successfully perform a Mars mission. Power levels can trade the specific impulse and SEP system mass to permit higher payload masses to Mars and will impact trajectory, transfer time, or the maximum payload capability of the launch system for a given departure orbit. The image in the slide illustrates a mission type AR is examining for Mars SEP cargo missions. That is, the SEP cargo flies a trajectory, the lines which we can see, the red and blue lines, which is the trajectory that delivers surface payload or pre-positioning return stages ahead of a crew mission. Figure 1, this figure also determines a unique optimization for SEP, that is solar electric propulsion trajectory, whereas using thrusting and the final thrusting for Mars flyby or arrival is more fuel efficient and can reduce time of flight. Dramatic reduction in space transportation costs are required to enable human exploration beyond low Earth orbit. And our main motive here is to reduce the cost for the mission. So the second method which I have used is the space thug. The space thug is basically a pull and would then begin a slow spiral trajectory, as we can see from the last slide, the trajectory. Slow spiral trajectory from the drop of orbit to an orbit corresponding to a characteristic energy, that is C3 is here the characteristic energy, which is minus 2 kilometers square per second square. The next step is the space. The SEP-THUG would use as a lunar gravity assist to achieve interplanetary trajectory starting from positive 2 kilometer square per second square. The payload would then thrust along a heliocentric trajectory with optimized periods for coasting until Mars sphere of influence is reached, where at an orbit arrival velocity at or under 5 km per second, the velocity, the payload, that is the surface lander, is aero captured into the one sole Mars orbit, and the SEP stage does a Mars flyby continuing in heliocentric space. The next image in the slide is the Mars exploration architecture and mission elements, the points which I've discussed in the previous slide. As we can see the image showing the architecture and the characteristic energy, that is C3, from lunar gravity assist to crew lander. This is the basic Mars exploration architecture along with the mission elements. This image also depicts a Mars architecture campaign chart showing how the pre-positioning of the key mission elements is performed in conjunction with later Mars crew missions. So what are the launch vehicle capabilities? NASA development of the SLS, that is Space Lunar System, vehicle is planned in phases, with the Block 1 SLS first flight scheduled for the late 2019 timeframe. Block 1B planned for the later exploration mission sets in the early 2020s, and the final Block 2B vehicle in the late 2020s. The launch vehicle configuration are summarized as in the image shown in the slide. The high level across the different blocks, that is the both block 1 and block 1B, have both crew and cargo configuration. The key difference between block 1 and block 1B is the addition of the H2 exploration upper stage. The addition of advanced boosters for block 2B increase the launcher payload capability. Here. Moving on to the SEP system capability assumptions. As significant advancements have been made in the last 5 years in the development of high power SEP system, first the advancements are, first, the Aerojet Rocketdyne has supported 3 advanced extremely high frequency satellite missions. Second, continued work by NASA has further demonstrated the methods of achieving very long haul thruster life, along with the development of a 12 kilowatt long life haul thrusters. Third, high power solar array technology has advanced considerably with the investment by industry and NASA. For Mars cargo study, for the 2017 the study, a conservative array specific mass of 5 kg per kilowatt was used per recent SEP spacecraft module design work performed at AR. So the image here the image provides a summary captured from the SEP sizing model. The sizing model within the model center integrated multidisciplinary model. As we can see, the 20 kilowatt electric SEP cargo vehicle dry mass and the masses in kg. Next, the method used for SEP performances. For the purpose of this study, SEP power levels were examined parametrically, scaling between 150 to 200 kilowatt electric to the power processing unit, PPU, at Earth departure. This was done holding the specific mass constant for the subsystems that scale with power. An integer number of tanks was first determined until the stage exceeded 5%, then a partial propellant loading was determined to add another tank to bring the margin down to 5% in order to provide as much mass as possible for Mars net delivered payload. Additionally, the AR integrated mission model used electric propulsion thrusters data that was correlated to the thrusters began designed on the NASA Advanced Electric Propulsion System project. Under this project, the AR was developed, qualified, and delivered 13 kilowatt electric class Hall thruster subsystems, including thrusters, power processing units, and the flow controllers. Now, after the SEP system capability assumption, what are the study approach and the result? While doing the study approach, the first thing come into the picture is integrated mission model. As the AR has been working various elements of SEP systems for orbital and interplanetary mission, this work requires examining many disciplinary aspects of SEP designs in order to capture the requirements that flow into and across the engineering disciplines needed to design a mission optimal SEP system. And AR has created a multidisciplinary modeling system. The figure in the slide is the Mars SEP cargo mission architecture, which is the relation to the model center integrated mission model. The model center integrated mission model framework and the specific analysis model element are linked to create the multidisciplinary analysis model system, as we can see in the image. The red boxes in the image illustrate the connection between the Earth to orbit, NASA space lunar system, launches and the Earth departure architecture elements and the integrated model analysis tools that represent those elements. The green boxes shows the connection for in-space Mars SEP cargo elements and the integrated model analysis tools that represents those elements. So the trajectory analysis results are used to then size the SEP cargo vehicle based on the total mass delivery capability of the NASA Space Lunar System and the required solar electric propulsion propellant to get the net payload to Mars. Now the trade results. As AR has focused the primary trade study for this paper on the impact of NASA Space Lunar System, that is B2B orbital capability for two variation in SEP power to determine what level of Mars delivered payload were possible when attempting to deliver at within 1 year of Mars crew mission in 2037. The image here is the Mars SEP cargo trends for varying SLS drop-off apogee and SEP power. Now the observation and conclusions I have drawn from the trade study. As stated in the integrated mission model, AR combined several model elements to create a multidisciplinary approach for performing the SEP cargo study. One of the initial observation obtained during the analysis of heliocentric trajectory with very top was the time of flight, and the net payload mass was highly dependent on the initial guesses and starting stage of SEP cargo spacecraft. The challenges for the 8-volt SEP system that provide the higher payload masses is that the time of flights and exceeding 5.5 years for the 199 kilowatt electric and 6.5 years for the 150 kilowatt electric power system. This may prove to be the problematic when 3 to 4 lander per crew mission are required, and getting them all there in a constrained launch with the crew mission adds risk to overall mission architecture. Although AR studies indicate that separating crew from cargo can reduce the number of launches and permit more efficient lower power SEP transportation system for cargo and pre-placement. Now the future work, what we can expect in future with SEP system. Future analysis focus on using Copernicus for all the heliocentric trajectory studies due to the greater flexibility in mission configuration and optimization techniques that permits higher fidelity as the SEP design evolves. Future work also impacts on the campaign sequencing of the multiple Mars cargo payload deliveries required prior to crew arrival on the overall architecture. When seeing the future like 2040s time, this include the examination of Mars crew exploration mission year opportunities going beyond this time to determine if those have any impact on selecting a common solar electric propulsion cargo power level. The cop, cop, the model to permit higher fidelity array degradation for more detailed examination of the Earth orbit spiral impact on the large solar array area that is typically for the high SEP power levels. These are the references. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, the listener. Thank you, Space Habitat, for organizing such an event and giving us the opportunity and the platform to enhance and share our knowledge and thoughts. Thank you so much.